a video on this kefir culture that my friend has given me. So my friend has given me some kefir culture. I always thought it was like a crystal, like a white spongy kind of quite crystal, but it looks like it's like a blob of yogurt in the bottom of this jar. Let's give it a bit of a taste. Oh, there's some solid bits in there. Feel like there's some solid bits in there. Let's give it a taste. She said it's very sharp. Hmm. 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 I think that's bordering on off. But essentially, yogurt is soured milk with the culture in it. But I make my own yogurt, and my yogurt. Oh, I'm making my own yogurt at the moment actually, so I need to just keep an eye on the pan off the stove. So my yogurt isn't that sharp, and I started it from a kefir culture, from a kefir. Where is it? Still got the bottle. I just bought a bottle of that from the supermarket, and that's what culture I use to make my yogurt, and then just save a little bit of the whey that I extract out of it, and turn that into my yogurt. So she says that we put it in a jar, add some whole milk to it. Oh no, there's some crystals in there. Oh, okay. So there are some. Yeah, that's what I imagined they'd be like. My camera's not working. They're spongy, but they're kind of like that. I thought it was like a big one, but there's lots of little ones in there. So she said into a jar, and then whole milk, and leave it at room temperature overnight, and it turns into more kefir. Lid on. She says the sister makes it in a kilner jar, puts the lid on it, but I don't think we should have that lid tight because it needs to breathe, doesn't it? We'll leave it a little bit loose. We'll leave it a little bit loose so it can breathe. Things like that that are alive need oxygen. So, or oxygen or carbon dioxide. They need gases. They need the gases all around us to live. Air. It needs air. So we'll leave that and we'll see what that's like in the morning. She did say that hers had fizzed over. It was kind of quite active. So what I think I'll do is I'll put that in something else so it doesn't fizz out and just make a mess of everything all around it. I think that's what we'll do, yes. So, 24 hours later, we've got, the yogurt really hasn't formed. I think it needs to be a little bit warmer. No, nothing's happened. Has it gone sour? No, it's not gone off. I'll put it somewhere warmer and we'll give it another few hours, I think. Right, I put this next to the radiator. My house is quite cool, so that's probably the reason why. But I put it on the radiator, and we've got certainly some yogurt there. It's kind of bubbly. It's kind of split into whey at the bottom. I don't know if it's supposed to do that. Now, what did my friend say? She said to strain it, and then those are little kefir grains there, aren't they? Ah, the kefir grains, they're not crystals. But how does it taste? Not bad, actually. It tastes cheesy. So I don't think it's... Is it a yogurt or is it a cheese? It's alright, is that? My friend said hers is really... Let's change this now. Said hers is really sour. But that's not particularly sour, is that? I don't know what milk she's using. But now how do we get those grains out of there? Do we shake it up and put it through a sieve? It's almost a bit fizzy. It's almost a bit fizzy. Let me have a think about what we're going to do with this. Let's shake it up. Might shake it up. Hang on. Let's shake it up, and then the whey will mix in with the yogurt stroke cheese that we've formed, and then we can put it through a sieve, can't we? And we can collect the grains, and the milk and the yogurt and the whey will all mix together, and that'll pass through. And then if we want to put it through a cloth to thicken it up, we might be able to do that. But anyway, I really should have researched this, shouldn't I? Or paid more attention to my friend. But anyway, so we'll give it a shake. Alright, so let's get a sieve. I'll pause for a bit. Right, so it's a sieve that's got quite wide holes in it, so it should pass through and collect the grains. Oh, there we go. Oh, we've made loads of grains. There's certainly a lot more grains in that. There's certainly a lot more grains in that than I was given. So we can see the grains there, can't we? But we've still got... See, the more we do that, the more... I don't want to push it through the sieve, but we'll get some of that, more of the stuff that will passing through, and that's what we want. We want to keep the grains for... Oh, you wash the grains, don't you? You wash the grains. That's what I remember now. I accumulate information, I watch things, and then kind of forget that I've seen things, and then I kind of remember. Oh, there's a lot more grains there than I started off with. We will have a clean jar somewhere. I'll find a clean jar and we'll put those in the clean jar. And then, I haven't eaten off that, have I? And then I wonder if we can strain that through a bit of cloth. Yeah, we'll taste this. It's alright. It's alright. So, I'll find a cloth, hang on. Right, so just a clean bit of cloth, and then that'll let the whey pass through, and we'll be left with the milk solids, cheese solids, yogurt solids. Like that. I find that I find that quite remarkable, that a cloth, when you straining things like yogurt or ricotta, that things like that won't pass through the cloth. The milk solids will stay there and the whey will pass through. I find that quite mind-bending, because I just kind of think that things will just pass through that, everything will just pass through the cloth, but no. But anyway, so we'll let that some of the whey drain out, and then we'll have a thicker product, won't we? And then we'll go to give it, then it'll be more intense, and then we can give it a taste, can't we? Yes. That's what we'll do. Right, so we have collected the, let's call them curds, and then let's just get them off that and give them a mix up. So all very faffy, but isn't everything. I don't know if it's me that makes everything a bit too much of a faff at times. It probably is. There's probably easier ways to do things. Although I do have a theory on easier way to do things. I think you shouldn't do the easiest way. I think you should do what's going to give you the best result. You know. So, mixy. like that, and then that's a good consistency for yogurt, isn't it? That's a good consistency for yogurt. Lay that on the side. We'll have a look at how much whey's come out of it. Yeah, so we've about 50-50. Let's weigh it. Let's weigh it. Now there's that little bit. Let's just squeeze that out of there, and then we can just weigh it, can't we? Put those where it's not going to make a mess, and then we'll know the difference. So those two balls will roughly weigh the same amount. I have to weigh it off camera because the board isn't straight. So that weighs 518, and this weighs 474. So there's about 50 grams worth of difference. So there's more whey that comes out of this. So when I make my own yogurt, I reckon I strain out about 2/5 of the weight, something like that. Yeah, so I strain out about 2/5 of the weight. So it looks like we're having to strain out more with this. So take a spoon, give it a taste, see what it tastes like. It's got that cheesy stroke. Yeah, the cheesy kind of element to it. What does this taste like? It's not as sour as my friend said. I wonder if that's down to me using whole milk. I can't remember what she said. If she used whole milk or not. Anyway. So, kefir. What are my thoughts? It's alright. I think it'd make a really nice, if we strained even more whey out of that, I think it'd make a really nice cream cheese. It's alright. It's a little bit grainy. Savoury. It's certainly more savoury than a normal yogurt. It's alright. It's alright. Don't have to, so you have to, when I make my yogurt, you have to heat the milk up and then cool it down to 46 degrees, 45 degrees. Probably best to do that with this actually. And then you kind of kill any kind of bacteria, yeast that's in the milk. So, and then you add the culture to it. So my method of making yogurt is a bit of a faff, but it makes a really nice yogurt. Whereas this is relatively straightforward and easy. And I suppose me faffing about with it kind of shows you what to do, doesn't it? If you want a thicker yogurt, you strain it. That whey would probably start off another yogurt culture. So you wouldn't get those thick grains that you did in the kefir grains. They might slowly form over time. But mine hasn't, and it was started from a kefir drink, a live kefir drink. So it's all right. It was a bit of fun. From something I got for free. Just need to be careful where you keep it. You know what I mean? You obviously don't want to make it in a too warmer environment or a too cooler environment, because in a too cooler environment it won't turn the milk. But anyway, so interesting. It might be something that I'll revisit in the future. We'll see if these kefir grains stay alive in the fridge. But a success, yeah, because I learnt something and we faffed around with something. So that's always success, isn't it?